thing you want to do is you want to prep everything. It'll make it a lot easier. So we're going to start off with our turkey smoked sausage, and you want to just open that up, and then you're going to cut them into, you know, bite-sized pieces, because gumbo is like a soup, so you want everything to, you have to get it with your spoon. So go ahead and start by cutting your sausage into bite-sized pieces. And you can use whatever sausage you like. I just particularly like this one. And you're gonna cut them into bite-sized pieces. And once you're done with that, you're going to set that to the side. The next step is you want to put on some gloves and you want to wash your fish. What I mean by that is rinse it off. I'm using tilapia fillets here, and you're going to cut them in half, put them all together, and then cut those into bite-sized pieces as well. They don't have to be perfect. It will pretty much cook down and kind of feather out, as you say. So just get them into small chunks and set those aside. And then off camera, I did dice up some onion and bell peppers and put that to the side. And then we will be cooking some chicken. So we need to cut up the chicken as well into bite-sized pieces. I got some chicken breast or chicken thighs. I think these are chicken thighs. And I got these at the local grocery store, and I just am gonna cut them. It's only 2 pieces. You wanna cut those into bite-sized pieces as well and set those aside. You need to be able to grab everything with a spoon, so you don't want your pieces too big. So just keep that in mind when you're cutting up. This is how your stuff should look. You have your chicken, onions, bell peppers, sausage, and fish, and you have all that ready to go. Now that we have prepped, let's get into it. Let's start. So get a frying pan, and you're going to use about a cup of oil. And I'm using vegetable oil. The reason why you want to use so much oil is because you will be using this oil later for your roux. But for right now, we're going to use this oil to fry our fish and our sausage. So you can begin with getting some sausage and laying it flat in the pan. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to put them in there, and you know, you want to add some color to them. Once you start seeing the color change on them, on the different surfaces, and the fish will start to kind of break up, that's when you know that is good. So let's get it all in that pan. You want to use a big spoon that you can strain your grease from. You don't want all that oil, so use a spoon like this and take out your fish and your sausage, and you're gonna set that aside. Try to get out as much pieces as possible. If there are little parts left over, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get out, you know, the bigger pieces that you can. And you want to try to get that out. And remember, you are going to save this grease, so just get out the sausage and the fish and set that to the side. That's how it should look. It has a little bit of color on it. Looking good. You're doing great. Next step, we're gonna set that grease to the side. Well, you're actually gonna pour that grease into your gumbo pot and so just pour that straight into the pot that you want to use for your gumbo, the big pot. And then once you do that, you're gonna use that same frying pan and you're gonna cook your chicken. You wanna cook your chicken about 10 to 12 minutes. Make sure it's, really cooked, medium to high heat. And you just pour that chicken in there and stir it around a little bit until it is cooked through. To my chicken, I added a little bit of onion powder and a little garlic powder. Like I said, it was already seasoned from the store. However, you could never have too much onion powder and garlic powder on your meats. So now with that gumbo, next step, we're gonna go back to our gumbo pot where I told you to save that grease. You're gonna turn that on to a medium-high heat and you're going to slowly whisk in about a cup of flour. And you're gonna continuously whisk that flour as it goes in. This is the most important part, because if you dump it all in there and try to whisk it slowly, or it just won't come out right. So you want to slowly add it and whisk as you're going. And then you want to add in a tablespoon of gumbo file and whisk that in as well. And you want to continue whisking until it gets to like a soft peanut butter color, like so. And you just continue to whisk. You got to keep whisking. So now it's how I want it. I'm going to add in these bell peppers and you're going to slowly whisk those in too. And this will give you that gluey texture roux that we're looking for. And so constantly whisk. I can't stress that enough. Just keep whisking it so nothing burns. And then you want to add in your onions and continue to whisk that in. Oh, the flavor, it smells so good, guys. It smells so good. So just whisk that in, continue to whisk it and get it. You just want a good coat, a good even coat over all your vegetables. The next step is you're going to add in your minced garlic. You're going to add in your crushed tomatoes. And then you want to put in your frozen cut okra. And the reason why you add that in is it's going to give you that slimy texture that we need in gumbo that creates it to be kind of thick, and ooh, it just gives it that goodness. Like, you have to have the okra in there. And you just leave it frozen because it'll cook out in there. You don't want to boil it or it'll cook out that slime that you need for your gumbo. So continue to whisk all that together. Yes, it should look like that. Just kind of whisk it all together. Now you're going to add in your sausage and your chicken that we cooked earlier. That's why it's good to prep beforehand, so you just got everything ready to put it all in there. And then you want to add some basil, some Italian seasoning, parsley, some bay leaves, and put all of the seasonings, all the fixings that I included in the ingredients. You want to put the oregano, all of that in now. And we're gonna put all of it in the pot and get that going so it can be so great, so that it gives it some good flavoring. And mix that up. Okay, then I added in some Creole seasoning. You don't want to use too much of that because it does have salt, so be careful. Oh, and don't forget, you want to add in about a tablespoon of sugar. And then I put in 2 cups of water, but to my water I added chicken bouillon, and I whisked that together prior to pouring it into the soup. Well, into the gumbo mix. And so you add the 2 cups of water with your chicken bouillon to the mix. Now you're gonna add a tablespoon of shrimp paste, and this is also gonna give it some good flavor. You wanna add a tablespoon of that to your gumbo mix as well. Okay, so add that in there to your mix. Your mix should look like this. It should look like a whole bunch of stuff in a pot. It's normal. And then you want to add some bay leaves. I add like 4 or 5. You don't need many. Just add those to it. And then you want to mix all of this up. Mix all of it up. Make sure it's all well coated and evenly, you know, just distribute it. And keep mixing it. Give it a good mixing. This is mixing all those flavors around. Oh, it's starting to look good. All the colors, it's coming together. All right, let's mix it, mix it, mix it. Just keep mixing. And now you want to add 2 cups of water to it. So it can get a little loose. You want to add 2 cups of water to it. Now mix that up. And you know, you gotta eyeball it for your texture. I'm gonna go ahead and add another ½ cup of water to this. So use your judgment. But yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna add a ½ cup of water to this. There we go. Now mix it all together. Now it's loose and it's kind of starting to look more like a soup. And we're gonna boil this on medium to high heat. Okay, we're going to let it cook. We stirred it all in. We're gonna boil this for about 35 to 45 minutes. And you wanna whisk this every 10 minutes just to ensure that nothing is getting stuck to the bottom of your pan. Constantly whisking through. And while that's cooking, we're gonna go ahead and make some rice. Shout out my sis Jalila. She gave me this rice cooker. And I put 3 cups of water in here and 2 cups of rice. And you just put the top on, turn it on. And that'll be ready by the time the gumbo's ready. Ooh, this gumbo looks good. You see how the texture has changed? Now we're gonna check on it. So right now we are going to add in some washed and cut crab legs. I went ahead and washed these and then cut them into single pieces. And then I just add however many like I want for my party. I'm cooking for 4, so I added, you know, a few pieces in there. And then you're gonna add in your fish and pour your fish in there, and your fish is going to break down, as I mentioned before. That's good, so it's gonna be in every bite. And this is where you would want to rinse and peel and devein your shrimp and add your shrimp to this. However, I made shrimp tacos the night before, so my leftover shrimp is sitting to the side of the pot and it's already cooked, so I'm not gonna add that until the very end. However, if you're watching this video, go ahead and rinse, devein, and peel your shrimp, and then add those raw shrimp in now. much. And before I forget, you do want to add in some claw crab meat, and you're just going to dump it in there like that and kind of break it up with your whisk. And that is also going to give you some crab meat and some fish in each bite, and it is going it's going to be so good. So yes, add this, break it down with your whisk into your mixture and give it a good mixing. Make sure it breaks up, and then we are going to cover and cook this. Okay, it's been about an hour. I cooked it a little longer and lowered the heat and just let it get all that yummy goodness. Let's see how it is looking. Ooh, yummy. It smells so good. It is so good. Ooh, yes, so good. Look at how the texture has changed, and it's just looking great. Let's put it in the bowl and let's plate, as they said. You want to add some rice, and you want to top it with some basil or some parsley, whichever is your preference. And that is the complete look, and you are done. This is it. It's gonna be so delicious. You guys enjoy. Give this video a thumbs up and enjoy this meal, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.